Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Glad you could join me here today as always, and it's a beautiful September morning in St. Louis, Missouri today. Today's topic is a continuation of The Power is Within, the book I wrote. It's available on Amazon. Pick up your copy today. I know it will be of value to you if you do more than read it, but do the suggestions, the exercises that I have included in there. Clean out that trash. Let that power flow through you that lives within you that you may not be aware of. We all have it. Excuse me. We all have it. Most of us aren't aware of it. Most of us don't know how to tap into it. But in that book, I show you how to do that. Whether you do it or not, that's up to you. I can't do your push-ups for you. Okay, so we are on location 803, and The Power is Within. Hit that like button and subscribe. Let's go. Your focus enlarges your experience. What are you focusing on today? Whatever you focus on grows in your experience. Are you focusing on what you don't like, or are you focusing on what you want, what you do like, what you want more of? Focus increases whatever the focus is zeroed in upon. Take note of what you say to yourself throughout the day, those internal conversations about anything and everything. Take control of them. Make them constructive, not destructive. Every thought must be an investment. Never say or think anything about someone you wouldn't want to be true of yourself. Like a boomerang, bad thoughts come back to the one who throws them. I used to think that only my actions and the things I did come back to me. But in reality, if you think badly about someone else, or you want something bad to happen to someone else, you just as well be thinking that you want that bad thing to happen to you. Talk badly about other people talk badly about you. Think badly about other people will have bad thoughts about you. As I've said before, it's none of my business what you think of me. It's only my business what I think of you and what I think of myself. Boomerang. Bad thoughts come back to the person who has them. Thoughts are things. You may not commit the act, but if you dwell on it continuously, you will bring something similar back into your life. That's why resentment is the #1 offender. It destroys people. It destroys you. It doesn't hurt the person you're resenting. My old mentor used to say, resentment eats up the container it's stored in. And what is the container? You and I. When we resent other people, it eats us up like a cancer. Most diseases, if not all, come from within, from our thoughts of guilt, shame, regret, resentment, remorse, and a whole list of, negative type thinking. Look for the good in everybody and everything. Can I always do that? No, I don't, but I can catch myself doing it. When I'm doing it wrong, I can turn that around and catch myself and make myself find something good in the person maybe I'm angry at in the moment. I don't always do it immediately, but if I keep that in my mind, I can come back to it once I get over the initial impression that made me angry. Nothing makes you angry, but I chose to be angry about. Even things we almost all agree on can be dangerous areas of negativity. Someone's leaving my house. One of my son's girlfriends. It's common to badmouth the government and the police. I pushed the wrong button here. Just give me a minute. But where would you be without them? I have lived in countries where the government and police were truly corrupt on a low level. $20 would buy you some corruption. It was like being in the Wild West, exciting but dangerous in ways that people in developed countries only see in movies. I've had to pay off the police many times. Was I breaking the law? No. Christmas was near and they needed money for gifts. Be glad that we have roads, parks, police, and government services. Believe that they will do right by you, and they will. Whatever you water grows. Which do you want to flourish, the rose or the deadly nightshade? The earth, like the mind, doesn't care which you plant. It can grow one as well as the other. Most people prefer not to think about things like this. They prefer to sit at home watching TV and talking to their friends about the latest episode of The Kardashians, which I have never watched one episode in my life, okay? I don't know anything about that show. It may be great, but I could care less about finding out because I know it doesn't satisfy the ultimate question I can ask myself. When I look back on my life, am I going to be proud that I spent my time in front of the TV, or would I rather look back on my life I lived building my dreams? When you are on your deathbed, the money, the cars, the distractions of all kinds will mean nothing. The journey of personal growth you take and the relationships you make along the way are what is truly important. People pay me to make things beautiful, rooms, roofs, whole houses. My clients are extremely important to me. And I met a client the other day, a prospective client. I bid a job for him, but it was a little higher than what he thought it was going to be. But he is in the military. His name is Matt Greenwood. He's a major in the Army. He's been over to Afghanistan. I got to talking to this guy, and we talked for, I don't know, what, an hour. I had another appointment, so I had to get out there. But actually, I would have stayed another hour or two just talking to this man. I was fascinated by him. Take a genuine interest in people. Everybody has a story. Think about what they're saying. Ask them questions about their life. People love to talk about themselves, and people are so interesting. But we really had a great conversation, and actually my conversation with him and meeting him inspired me to do the podcast I did last night about how great a country we live in here in the U.S. and how people like him, as I said, he is a major in the Army. He's been to Afghanistan. People like him make it possible for you and I to do whatever we want to have the freedoms that we have, to explore our limits. We're not oppressed here. I know many people in the U.S. think they're oppressed. There's no opportunity here. Well, the reason is they have no contrast. They have no idea what it's like in third world countries. I've lived in third world countries. I've traveled out of the country here, or out of the U.S. over 30 times. I've been to many third world countries. And you live in paradise here. I know you may not believe that, but the deal is it's only because of a person's ignorance. And when I say ignorant, no, I'm not saying that you're ignorant or I'm ignorant. I was ignorant before I went out of the country. I was ignorant of how things are out in the world, how it is in other places. And if you don't know the contrast, you don't know how good it is here. I remember when I would fly back into St. Louis, there was just a feeling of relief, cleanliness, and peace. Because when you live in a country, a dangerous third world country, you're constantly watching over your shoulder. You're watching to see if you're going to be robbed. I was robbed once by 4 men with guns. I was attempted, people, more than 2 or 3 times, people attempted to rob me, but physically I took care of them because I was a professional boxer. I can handle myself. So you have to constantly be on guard. It's exciting. It's a feeling of being alive because you never know what's going to happen. But on the other hand, being here in the U.S., I can sit here. My window doesn't have bars on it. My doors are unlocked now. I seldom lock my doors. At night, we lock them, but during the day, I don't lock my doors. Now, there's some people that walk by here that appear to have maybe a meth habit or a crack habit or whatever. They don't bother me, okay? They just walk right on by. So my neighborhood is okay. These people come from a neighborhood a block or so away, a couple blocks away. But it's relatively safe here. The police station is only about a block up the road. If I call them, they can get here pretty fast. So compared to living in a third world country, it's extremely safe. But as I said, if you don't know the contrast, it's hard for you to really grasp that. So, all right. Of course they are, Mark. You say, if it weren't for them, people pay me to make things beautiful. You wouldn't have an income. Yes, that's true, but that isn't why they're so important to me. If I had no clients, I would still have everything I need monetarily. Some other avenue would open up itself to me, and I would make a living. There is a much greater value I place in my clients, our relationship. I enjoy what I do. I love it even. But I care about my clients as people. I feel great about the service I provide only because of them, the person that I am providing that service for, and how it positively impacts their lives. A principle I love and practice is, you will never get paid more than you are getting paid now until you do more than you are getting paid for now. Think about that. It's kind of confusing. I still have a difficult time saying it, but it's true. You have to do more than you're getting paid for now, and then you will get paid more than you're getting paid now. I still get confused saying it, but you have to get the book and you study it, you'll figure it out. And I started practicing that. I do a little extra on every job, if it's possible. I do a little extra. Sometimes I tell the client, sometimes I don't. And I don't expect anything back from that client, but it comes back to me in the future, multiplicatively from other clients. Like this client I was talking about, Major Matt, our prospective client. I was trying to help him. He was renting his place out, so he wasn't sure what to do and what not to do. But some of the things, he was trusting me to give him my opinion. And I told him, if you're renting the place, the renters may move out in a year. So you don't want to go putting some kind of expensive paint on there, because you want to be able to come back and touch it up. And certain paints touch up better than others. And he can keep the touch-up paint, and then he doesn't have to worry about it. But if I was just interested in making the sale and not interested in his best interest, then I would have told him to paint the whole thing, use a good paint, paint all the trim, paint this, but I didn't do that. I told him what I thought needed to be painted and what he could just let go because it looked good enough. I asked him the income of the clients, the clientele, the renters, what level their income was, to get an idea of what these people would expect from him. So all these things are taken into consideration when you are going to spend money on rental property. So, but I kept his best interest in mind, and that's what you have to do. That's the opposite of what a lot of people do. They think about what they're going to get out of the job. And I can't say I've never done that, but when I go out there worrying about what I'm going to get, then that's really not the right attitude. I need to worry about what I can give to that client, how I can serve that client, how I can be the best servant to that client. And then the monetary part of it will come back to me running over. Maybe not from that client, but it's a cumulative effect. The more you do that, the more it comes back to you, because I'm putting value out into the world. I'm taking care of my clients. I'm taking care of my prospective clients. I've told clients to put siding on houses instead of painting them because they were bad, and it was just, paint would not adhere to a certain kind of a wood. So, I mean, I could paint it, but in maybe 2 or 3 years, it'll be peeling again. So for them, the right thing, the best investment for them would be to put vinyl siding on. I don't make any money on that, but it doesn't matter. I have to give them my honest opinion in good conscience. Sure, I don't get the job, but that's okay. How do I want to be treated by people who come here and are supposed to do work? You can finish watching this video on YouTube at Mark's Inspiration.